What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Wisconsin morning. My name is Johanna Sina, and I'm here with special guest
Jerry Jackson.
All right, Jerry Jackson, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Jerry Jackson. I was born here in Wisconsin. I've been here my whole life.
Come on, add some ethos to it.
Yeah, so I'm a lawyer. I've got 3 kids, and I play golf on Sundays. Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep going. All right, everybody. Nice. Okay, so Jerry Jackson, let me tell you a little bit about this podcast. Basically, for you and the audience to know, we're just gonna talk, and of course, with an agenda behind us. And somewhere in the middle, I'm gonna be telling you and the audience something medicine related and possibly interesting, since I am, of course, a licensed medical assistant.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan, Mr. Sina. I love this show. I watch it every day with the kids. You know, it's a great time.
All right. So, to my audience, I would also like to mention that we have indeed rebranded with a new logo. Shout out to our last logo artist Johanna Sina, for creating our first logo. But as we all know, life goes on and we gotta keep up with the times.
It's true. It's very true.
Speaking of which, what's your opinion on abortion? All right. So, moving on. Now that previously we were on the topic of logos, what's your opinion on rebranding of logos? Does it take away the traditional feel of a company, their homeliness, or does it smooth out all the rough edges of that past logo had?
Yeah, I think you made some good points that, like, often companies are rebranding logos and then they're just, like, isolating their new audiences. And I think it's good to expand your consumer base.
Consumer base.
Yeah, appeal to a more greater audience. I think that's a really great opportunity, to expand your business. Mm-hmm. I think it's great.
But does it expand the business but not the audience? Does the minds of the audience get expanded to immense passion for that company that you used to have? Don't you think you have Pringles right there, don't you? Do you not miss the old Pringles guy?
Well, yeah, some people can feel nostalgic at times for logos, but I really believe that in our society we need to encourage the children, to innovate and inspire people. And the way we can do that is by constantly changing our society. We need to constantly be rebranding our brands and rebranding our companies and rebranding everything all the time. That's how we create innovation.
I want to remind you, as this is a podcast and not an interview, you feel free to question me, okay? But, I'm not for that. Anyway, I do have another question for you. Now, you say the children have to rebrand and expand on the company, but have you seen those TikTokers? Do you think they should be given the liberty? Those are Gen Zers, by the way. Do you think they should be given the liberty to affect an audience?
Yeah, personally, I know this TikTok thing has been popular for a while now, I think. Yes, I think all those kids, it's actually horrible. They just can't get enough of TikTok. And it's like, where's the diversity here? You can't just always, be on your phones on the same app. You gotta, why don't you download Flappy Bird or something? Like give some sort of variety to your entertainment.
That's true. That'd be true. But it's TikTok. The variety. Are they even willing? These children, are they even willing to expand? Because for that, what I've been seeing this TikTok thing has been going all out since the 2000 something, and I don't think that these children are ever going to get out of the influence of TikTok. What if you have a paper mill company, I'm just saying, and then instead of forming the logo of the paper mill company into something about the purpose of the company, which is another thing. Like, do these modern children know the traditional purpose of a company? Do they value that company from its beginning? Because they haven't seen it from its beginnings, you know? But that's a question for another time. Do you not think that they would simply just rebrand the company's logo into a Musically logo with the circle and the stick?
Yeah, well, as a lawyer, I personally think that, everything is subjective, All these corporations, it's all subjective. What they do, what they make is all subjective. It's all relative to, your own interpretation. So, yeah, as a lawyer, I think, it's okay for things to change. It's okay that, we don't hold on to our past. And sometimes people just gotta give up what they believe in order to serve the greater of society. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, we're gonna die one day, so these Gen Zers, they have to have the right. Speaking of which, you say everything's subjective, but you're a lawyer. Isn't everything supposed to be objective? Isn't that your job?
I've been a lawyer for a very long time. Okay, I've been a lawyer since before you were born, probably. And it's a hard job. It's not for everyone. Not everyone can be a lawyer. I think, a lot of people think being a lawyer is easy because they think it's just arguing with people. But that is completely not true and very disrespectful to my profession, because it's very hard and it's very expensive, and the reward is great. I love my job so much. I love my kids, but it's not for everyone.
So are you just saying that I can't do your job because I didn't get a degree? Even though really a degree is just a piece of paper, and the media and the educational system and the government is just trying to trick people into thinking that a piece of paper that even though it's from like education and like you were talking to your professors and you can like make connections, like, as a podcaster, I think I could be a great lawyer because, like, basically the communication skills, like, being a lawyer is just communication, right? Nothing else, right?
Yeah,
like, you don't need to know any laws and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just make it up on the spot. Sure.
I just think that this modern day society, they just like paper too much.
That's a good point. Everything's going virtual now. Everything's online.
Which is why the paper mill brand logo has to be a Musically logo, not a paper logo.
Paper mill, yeah, just change it. Paper mill logo into like a PDF logo. PDF mill. Get with the times.
On God. Now, do you have... You're the guest here, right? Do you have any topics you'd like to bring to the table?
Oh, yeah. So, I actually thought we were coming here to talk about Ayurvedic medicine.
Yeah, Ayurvedic. That's gonna come, ladies and gentlemen, at a later time. But if you want, I can talk about it now. I mean, that's up to you.
And it's up to you. I mean, I'm just the guest here,
Well, it's up to you because I asked you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to rush into things,
Yeah. This generation just wants to rush into things too much. That's why they call it Zoomers.
You always see Zoomers out on the streets, like, zooming around on their skateboards. Personally, I think skateboards are creations of the devil. But, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that.
Wait, when were skateboards created? Skate
I'm not sure.
creation when? The 1940s, 1960s.
Yeah, so yeah, like this new technology is kind of, you know, it's kind of crazy sometimes. Like, I can't even believe, like, back in my day, they didn't have skateboards. Like, you had to go, like, you had to, like, buy your own, like, scooter and scoot around on the scooter if you wanted to, like, go anywhere.
And when were scooters created? When were scooters?
Yeah, I mean, everyone back in high school had a scooter, I remember.
Oh, it was dates as far back as the early 1800s. Is this you? This picture?
Oh, yeah, that's my friend Tommy over there on the left. Yeah, he would always get mad because his scooter was pink and he thought it was dumb. So he was always jealous of my scooter because it was black.
And is that you in the center, right?
I don't think I'm in that photo.
Oh, okay. My bad. Oh, is this you with your lovely wife, Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, I remember that day. Our honeymoon, riding off on a scooter. It was a tradition back then.
Speaking of traditions, this modern day generation just doesn't understand traditions. We've already been delving into this with the logos and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so true.
Like, where does tradition, stand in this generation?
Yeah, I really think this new Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they do not care at all about our traditions. They would rather, go be on their phones. That's their tradition, is being on their phones. It's really disheartening. Like, you don't ever see anyone, like, running around, going to church, giving old people money.
Yes.
And it's really disrespectful. Like, I'm honestly really disappointed in the way our society has, shaped these young minds. I'm really disappointed.
I'm over here just thinking, where did this change come from? Is it from the parents failing to protect their children? Is it the phones? Is it the president of the United States? The TikTok?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. Some people like to say that, it's all the phone's fault. It's all Steve Jobs' fault. And that is completely not true. Because back before there were phones, there were still ways to have internet access.
Yes,
back in my day, before phones were invented, they had people, using bringing out their computers, their PCs, with them to, like, on the bus, on the train, sending text messages. And, people still did that back then. So you can't just blame it all on the phones, right?
Yes.
It's a change in the mindset. It's a change in the way parents have been raising their children. It's a psychological, mental change.
But then what caused these parents to be so bad at their jobs?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I think, it's just like nobody wants to, like, do anything. And, these days they're just so lazy and selfish.
Right.
Intellectuals, hipsters.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
I saw a hipster one day. he was giving me a coffee. It tasted good, but I had to spit it out because like it was just like his aura, was just encapsulating me with this sort of like I'm a lumberjack energy, and I'm not a lumberjack. I'm a podcaster.
Yeah.
And a motorcyclist. I want to stop right here and talk about this holistic medicine. Okay.
Yes, it's fine.
Jerry Johnson. Jackson, yes.
Johnson.
When you think of holistic medicine, what do you think?
Yeah, holistic medicine is definitely one of the greater contributions to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
I think about a lot of great things. I think about like your medicine, like the war.
The war. Which war?
Back in my day, yeah. Back when we were all getting drafted, yeah, it really brings me back.
Mm-hmm. Really? Because what shocked me was, and I saw this on a YouTube poll, which I know isn't all that reliable, but it's still shocking. But when people thought of medicine, which I'm guessing were Americans, thought of holistic medicine, they were immediately like, no, holistic medicine doesn't work. And I can understand that people have opinions. But when I was looking through the comments, I saw that people who said no were thinking of holistic medicines as crystals that middle-aged women suck on so they can purify the iron in their blood or something. Now, I'm not saying that all of them thought this, because there were some that pointed out, oh, how about traditional Chinese medicine practice, or of course the popular acupuncture. But acupuncture, But the fact that that wasn't the first thing that people thought of, proven methods of holistic medicine, it meant something a little bit more than just people being unknowing or ignorant. In fact, I think it's a fault in the system, in the medical system.
Yeah, I think that's completely true. It's a great point. I think it's all a government psyop. This whole like holistic medicine, white women, it's all like the government trying to control the way we think.
Yeah, the government, the media, what's his name? The lizard guy, Facebook guy. I don't know.
Oh, Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah. Anyway, going back to this topic. So a couple of months ago, I was working on this article. It's about modern versus traditional medicine. Okay, and I was primarily focusing on Ayurvedic medicine, which was it's in the group of holistic medicine, and it originated from India. And when I researched this, I learned that I need to burp.
Take your time.
I learned that for the most part, modern medicine was good for, I won't say quick fixes, but, things that are more surgery related, something that can be fixed in one go. Like for instance, when you have cancer, you're not going to go and like find some herbal tea and fix it, right? You kind of need a little more than that, okay?
Yeah.
But for sort of long-term, not illnesses, but long-term symptoms that occur, these things are actually really helpful. And one of them that I want to point out is called Kanta Sudarak, okay? Mm-hmm. I have some pills back there if you want to get, I can bring them out.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, this is Kanta Sudarak, okay? Mm-hmm. And basically it's made up of cardamom, cloves, camphor, licorice extract, nutmeg, and carom seeds, at least according to Google, the site I used. Now, listening to the ingredients I list out, and this is the only thing that this is made of, like, what do you think of it? Do you think it's something that's harmful, or do you think it's something that's helpful?
Yeah, well, I definitely don't think this is like you know, some kind of like radioactive, you know, it's gonna make you grow a tumor out of your forehead.
Like, yeah, it won't cause more problems. That's all.
Yeah, probably not.
But what I'm trying to point out, it's natural ingredients. You know, it's not full of synthetic chemicals that are not as well tested, not something that we as people or even like scientists are familiar with.
Words you can actually pronounce.
Yes, but at the same time, it's not like crystals. It's not like something crazy, and it's natural ingredients, which means that the NIH would approve of it unless if there was something completely bad about it. But the thing is, I've been using this for about a year, and this is especially good for coughs. And even a week ago, I got sick, and I just put 2 of these pills at a time, and it just relieved my coughing. It was even better than cough drops. I'm not saying cough drops are bad, but it works. It works well. And while I was researching this, I saw that the thing is, there's not a lot of websites talking about this thing because it really does work. And I like, even the top websites, they weren't like .edu, .gov websites, they were .com websites. And I'm just wondering, why is it that this isn't talked about enough? Why is it that the media would rather portray these Western medicines than these natural medicines that still work as well? Maybe they're not life-changing medicines that can fix cancer, but still, they work pretty darn well. So I would really recommend this medicine to the audience and even you, that while it says on the website that I checked to check with a physician in case you're like pregnant or taking other meds, you should try it out for coughing, bad breath, any of these respiratory stuff. And I will say the taste is strong. Like it can be kind of sweet to some, bitter for others. For me, I'm pretty sensitive to bitter stuff, so it did taste bitter, but I could see some sweetness in it. But yeah, I'd say try it out, guys. It does wonders. And let's see if enough of you try this miracle pill out. Maybe we can get more information on this.
Yeah, I mean, do you think like the side effects of the medicine are even like not as bad as like the side effects of like Western medicine?
I saw on the website. Sorry. Wow, this is really ironic. I saw on the website that it doesn't have any known side effects, but again, it like research or looking at the research, there's not a lot of research that's done on this. You know, it's just not as popular. But I will say from what I've done, there is like, it's just like cough drops. Unless if you're allergic to one of the ingredients, it doesn't have much side effects.
Yeah, it's like, it really begs, you know, the question, why is like because like how much did this cost you?
I got this from my cousin. I mean, I checked with a physician, of course, but
So like free, right?
basically for me, yeah.
Yeah, so it really begs the question, why is medicine so expensive in the U.S.?
I would also like to point out, like, compared to America, like, you could get pills for like hundreds of dollars, but then when you're in India, you can just get them like for $8 USD, maybe less than $8 USD. You know?
And like for the same effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really something.
Well, what can we? That's why we're here. I would also like to ask before we move on. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you trust Eastern holistic medicine as opposed to Western medicine?
You know, I always say, if it tastes good, then I'm gonna eat it, right?
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 You know, it's not about, like, you know, you can't hide the taste of all these, like, synthetic chemicals, you know.
Right.
They taste like crap. But, like, something more natural, you know, I want to eat it. If it's, like, a nice color, you know, maybe a nice natural color, you know, maybe some purple, or, you know, some black. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm gonna eat it like candy, right? You know, and they're trying to do this with Western medicine. They're trying to turn it into candy, you know, to make.
Yeah.
You know why they're trying to do that? Because that's what kids love. They love candy, right?
Yeah. They even have a peppermint, like, not peppermint. They had, like, this Christmas flavor. I don't know what it was, like peppermint plus sprinkles.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's so, like, the U.S. government is literally trying to get our children addicted to drugs from a young age, and no one is doing anything about it.
That's true. I'm crying. Well, thank you. So before we leave, is there any topic that you would like to bring up for our audience?
I mean, I think we talked about a lot of great things overall, you know. I think we really had an insightful conversation on the future of our society, you know, and I really want to point out how, like, we have this responsibility as individuals to, you know, change out all these problems. Like, we can sit here, me and you, and point out all these problems all day. Like, we're still sitting here not doing anything about it. You know, we're basically contributing to it.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so that's why you better like, share, and subscribe.
That took the words out of my mouth. Now, for our final topic, what do you think? Should we end on some light note, or should we
Sure.
delve into the deep stuff?
Yeah, let's do something lighthearted for a change.
Yeah, so how old are you?
I'm 15.
Okay, I was going to ask, is that not a lighthearted topic?
There shouldn't be many issues.
And so, as a 15-year-old, what is your outlook on life? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of us Wisconsiners, especially in the motorcycle assembly, we'd like to know a lot about you young kids, especially your views on motorcycle assemblies.
Motorcycle assemblies are, you know, the saving grace of Wisconsin. You know, they're like, you see them everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
You always see motorcycle assemblies, you know, and it's like, once you graduate middle school, you know, there's this, like, you know, it's like a, you know, trying to get your driver's license, you know, everyone's trying to get their motorcycle license, everyone wants to get their first motorcycle. You know, it's just such a great experience, and it's changed my life. All the people I can meet, you know, all the motorcycles that we ride.
Yeah, it brings another light to our youth, you know? Rather than just having the light from our phone screens, we can just experience the light that the heavens provide us while riding on our motorcycles. Yeah,
there's nothing that can compare to the experience. Yeah.
Wait, I want to check. When is the legal age? When is the legal age to ride a motorcycle in Wisconsin? Wisconsin. At least 16. Well, you're on your permit, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they trust me. You know, as long as you can pass the motorcycle test, you know, the history of motorcycles. You know, like you gotta name, like, all the different brands of motorcycles.
Yeah, I remember that. That was. Anyway, what do you think is the connection between you and life right now?
Me in life, I truly believe that this world is all assimilation.
Mm.
So, for me, I'm like the only real person. You know, like all you. You know, I don't even know if you're like are you a robot? Are you a program? I'm not even sure. You know, all the listeners out there. Yeah, like I'm not sure I even believe that you guys are even real.
Wow, that was kind of hurtful. But carry on.
Yeah. So me in life, you know, life is all about escape. Life is all about finding who you really are deep inside, who you were created to be, because we're all created by somebody with a purpose. I don't believe anyone was born without a purpose.
Somebody being like a god, or like a light.
I like to believe that outside of the simulation, there is another simulation of like beings, and those beings created us. You know, it's like the Sims, right? Or like a or like the metaverse, right? We're all just we're all just avatars in the metaverse.
Yes, that is that. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. I don't know how much time we have left. Back to you and your age. Now, as we are the Wisconsin Motorcycle Assembly for Lord's sakes, but do you believe it's a viable career option or even a hobby option for you?
Oh, yes, certainly. Of course. There's millions of dollars to be made in the assembly. You know, when we first started out, at first it was just, you know, people like sitting around, but you know, at a certain time, like maybe 20 years ago, I'd say motorcycle assemblies, like they were kind of dying out. You know, and then that's when you see a lot of the assemblies popping up in like China, you know, in Thailand, you know, all those countries, you know, and it's like they you know they have all the children, you know, working on the assembly lines, you know, for the motorcycle assembly lines, you know, and it's just we need to bring it back to America and bring it back locally to Wisconsin. You know, we need to bring back the assembly line. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like, that's what Henry Ford lived for. He created moving assembly lines for us to make use of, and we're just not.
Henry Ford, a very American patriot.
Or like, he didn't create, but like he popularized it. And why aren't we taking advantage of what he has popularized? I mean, we can just get a motorcycle. We don't have to wait for it. So why wait? Why are we sitting down? Why are we looking at like this a badly drawn logo where with two teenagers talking about TikTok or whatever, when we could just be going out there, you know? I mean, sitting here in our studio, I'm just now noticing this bright, beautiful light that the Lord has given us. The sun, for God's sakes, the sun. Just shining down upon me. It feels almost as if I'm a god. And we're not taking advantage of the pride that God has given us. Not the ego. Not the ego from watching two teenage girls talk about TikTok. The pride from living God's life. Why aren't we taking advantage of that?
Yeah. You know, they always say, you know, God rides his motorcycle down to earth. You know, he's riding down to earth on his motorcycle. You
Or the
know,
simulation, the other simulation controlling us. They're riding motorcycles too, I think.
yeah. They probably are motorcycles.
Yeah. I mean, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Wisconsin night where we're signing off sadly, but we'll get right back to you at another beautiful time. Okay. Do you have anything to say to the audience here?
No, that's about it.
All
I
right.
hope you enjoy. See you all in the next episode of the Wisconsin Motorcycle Assembly Podcast. Make sure to subscribe.
Like, share with all your motorcyclists.
Smash
family.
that like button.
Smash it.